Welcome to our practice session for variables and expressions. We're going to go through several examples that can be used with the skills we looked at in the last video. For the first few examples, we're going to simplify the following expressions. Example A, we're taking 10 minus 2 squared plus 8 divided by 4 minus 2 multiplied by 3 minus 3. To begin this, what we want to do, following PEMDAS, is our parentheses first. 10 minus 2 can be simplified as 8. That means now we have 8 squared. 3 minus 3 can be simplified as 0. We bring down any operations we haven't yet done. So I'm bringing down plus 8 divided by 4 and the minus 2. Now the next thing we need to do is take care of any exponents. We have 8 squared, which is the same as 64. There are no other exponents, so we bring down everything we haven't used. We bring down our plus 8, our divided by 4, and minus 2 times 0. After exponents, we have multiplication and division left to right. So first, 8 divided by 4 gives us 2. Negative 2 times 0 gives us 0. And we bring down all the signs and numbers we haven't used yet. After multiplication and division, we have addition and subtraction left to right. So 64 plus 2 gives us 66. And 66 minus 0 is equal to 66. Meaning our simplified form for this expression is 66. For example B, we're simplifying 8x minus 12 plus 4x plus 24. What we need to do is combine like terms. My like terms include 8x and 4x, which when I combine those, we get 12x. And they also include negative 12 and positive 24. Both of those don't have x, so they are like terms. Negative 12 plus 24 is equal to plus 12. 12x and 12 can't be simplified anymore, so 12x plus 12 would be our simplified form. For example C, we're going to simplify negative 2 multiplied by x minus 1 plus 2x plus 10 plus 3x squared. To start this, I need to distribute my negative 2 to both x and minus 1. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. And then we bring down anything that we haven't used yet. So we bring down plus 2x plus 10 plus 3x squared. Now that we've distributed, the next thing we would like to do is combine like terms. Negative 2x, positive 2x. They create 0. And to show that I'm creating a 0, what I'm going to do is cancel those. Positive 2, positive 10 make 12. And 3x squared we bring down. 12 plus 3x squared would be an acceptable answer, but what I'm going to do to write this in standard form, my highest exponent will come first. Squared plus 12. For our next examples, we're going to evaluate the following expressions. For example A, we have 5x plus 2, and we want to evaluate it for x equals 12. So we'll replace x with 12, creating 5 times 12 plus 2. And now we need to follow PEMDAS. 5 times 12 is equal to 60. And 60 plus 2 is equal to 62. For example B, we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 10y. We want to evaluate it for x equals 2 and y equals 3. So we're going to change this to 2 multiplied by 2 squared minus 3 multiplied by 2. That will replace each x with the number 2. Then we're going to replace 3 for y and change this to plus 10 times 3. Now we need to follow PEMDAS. Exponents will create 2 multiplied by 4 minus 3 times 2 plus 10 times 3. Moving along, we have multiplication. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. 10 times 3 is 30. And at this point, we're taking addition and subtraction left to right. 8 minus 6 is 2. And 2 plus 30 is then equal to 32. For example C, we have A times B plus C minus 8. We're going to evaluate this for A equals -1, B equals 5, and C equals 2. So first we're going to replace all of our numbers for their variables, changing it to -1 of 5 plus 2 minus -1. You might notice I used parentheses there because I had two negative signs. When I include the parentheses, I'm less likely to forget that I'm working with two negative signs. Now PEMDAS, parentheses comes first. 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have -1 times 7 minus -1. At this point, I want to distribute. And if I think of this negative as being a -1, then we're going to distribute -1 times 7 to get -7. And -1 times -1 to get +1. -1 plus 1, or -7 plus 1 is equal to -6. Now for our last examples, we're going to write an expression given the situation. Example A, you start work at a fast food restaurant and make $8 per hour. If it cost you $10 for a uniform, then write an expression to show how much money you will make the first week. So to start it out, I need a variable. We're talking about hours, so I'm going to let H be the number of hours. Since 8 is paired with per hour, we're going to be thinking of that as 8H. Then we have a cost of $10. That's going to tell me that I need to subtract. To figure out my profit then, I would be taking 8H minus 10. And for our final example, we're going to write an expression for the situation. You begin the year with $1,400 in your bank account, but lose your job at the start of the year. Each month, you spend $150 in bills. We want to write an expression to show the state of our money by month. So for our variable, since we're talking about each month, let's go ahead and let M be the number of months. Our starting amount, we know, is $1,400. And since we're paying bills, bills are going to subtract from our money. We'll be taking $1,400 minus $150 each month. These are paired up, so we'll make that 150M. 1,400 minus 150M would be our expression.